God's peace be with you all. People usually experience three stages in their relationship with Christ: emotional, intellectual, volitional. These have to do with the heart, the mind, the will. The stages, which overlap, can come quickly in succession or take long periods of time. In the case of Saul, who became Paul, the three stages came quickly. Saul was an implacable enemy of Christ and the church, but was converted by Jesus himself on the road to Damascus. And after some days was already proclaiming Christ. He would soon be the great Apostle Paul. But for most of us, our conversion and transformation are much less dramatic and come much more systematically. So the first stage is when one meets Christ and is touched by the Spirit. He has an emotional experience, a high. In the parable of the sower, he is the one who received the word with joy. But unless he moves strongly into the second stage, he can fall away because he has no roots. The second stage is when the roots begin to be set. It is when one begins to live Christ. He gets to know Christ more. He prays, reads the Bible, undergoes formation, studies aspects of the Christian life, begins to share Christ in simple ways, and even serves in ministry. He has an intellectual experience, a deepening, a greater understanding of what the new life is about. He is entering into discipleship. In the parable of the sower, he would be the one whose faith takes root. But many of those in this stage might still fall away. They strive to live by the Spirit, but may be overcome by the works of the flesh. As Paul says, the Spirit and the flesh are opposed to each other. They can become the foolish Galatians. The third stage comes as a decision of the will. He has made the decision to live his life for Jesus. He has started to totally turn over his life to Jesus. He has been honed by some trials, persecution, and suffering. He is determined to endure. He begins to deny self and embrace the cross. He accepts the loss of worldly things and could even consider them rubbish. He is consumed by zeal to proclaim the gospel. He is deliberate, determined, and dogged. He has decided to follow Jesus all the way, without conditions, knowing full well the challenges and pain that come, and there is no turning back. Because of his intimate relationship with Jesus, he has grown in knowledge of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. He understands and practices mercy. He is an authentic servant leader and a holy warrior. He is a prophetic witness. In the parable of the sower, he would be one who has deep roots, has endured trial and tribulation, has overcome worldly anxiety and the lure of riches and craving for other things, and thus bear fruit 100-fold. Now there are those in the second stage who have not truly experienced the first stage. He is the nominal Catholic, the one who is catechized and sacramentalized, but not evangelized. In his mind, he knows more or less what the faith is about, but he has not encountered Jesus in a personal way. His mind is active, but his heart has not been touched in a deeply intimate way. He does not recognize Jesus as a friend and has not truly experienced Jesus' love and mercy. He needs to be evangelized, to be reintroduced to Jesus, to meet him and to get to know him more intimately. One who reaches a third stage continues with the second and have occasional instances of the first. God continues to touch the heart, the mind, and the will, the total person, until he becomes another Christ. He then is a saint. Let all the saints come marching in. God bless you all.